What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing an Amazoness deck profile. So I'm really excited to do some for you guys because this deck is an extremely fun going second deck that can easily OTK your opponent using all of your awesome Amazoness monsters. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of War Chief. War Chief is definitely a 3-of in the build because this card can easily special summon itself to your side of the field. With the ability to control no monsters or only Amazoness monsters, you can special summon this card in the hand. And if this card is normal or special summon, you can actually set an Amazoness spell or trap or a polymerization directly from your deck, which is a great ability to instantly get to your copy of polymerization to start going in for your fusion plays. We then play 3 copies of Amazoness Princess. Amazoness Princess is definitely a 3-of in the deck as well, because if this card is on your side of the field or in the graveyard, its name becomes Amazoness Queen, which is a great ability to help us go in for our fusion plays. Also, if this card is normal or special summon, you can actually add an Amazoness spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is a great effect to instantly get to the exact card that we need. This card also has an incredible ability that when this card declares an attack, you can actually send one other card from your hand or field to the graveyard to special summon an Amazoness monster from your deck in defense position, except another copy of Princess, which is a great ability to instantly get another Amazoness on your side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Spiritualist. Spiritualist is great to help us search out our copy of Polymerization, as this card has the ability, if this card is in your hand or your graveyard, you can turn in an Amazoness card that you control, accept another copy of this card, and return it back to the hand if you do special summon this card. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the X deck for the rest turn except Amazoness monsters, which is totally fine. And an easy way to actually summon this card out to your side of the field is just to activate one of your pendulum scales, bounce it back to your hand off this card's effect, and special summon it, and then just activate your pendulum scale all over again. This card also has the ability, if this card is special summon, you get to add a polymerization from your deck to your hand. We then play 3 copies of Golden Whipmaster. Golden Whipmaster is great as a 3-of in the build because our pendulum scales make our monsters absolutely massive. It makes it super easy to OTK our opponent, as our pendulum monsters have great pendulum effects with the ability that this card has the effect that Amazoness monsters you control gain attack equal to their own level times 100, which is a great effect just to give our Amazoness monsters a little bit of a boost, which both of our pendulum scales actually share that common effect. So if you have both of them on your side of the field, they're going up by 200 attack points for every one of their levels. Also, this card has a unique ability that when an attack is declared involving your Amazoness monster, you can target a spell or trap card on the field and destroy it, giving you the ability to pop one of your opponent's back rows. This card also has a great monster effect that if this card in the monster zone is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can place this card in your pendulum zone, and if an Amazoness monster is special summoned to your field while this card's in the graveyard, you can actually place this card in your pendulum zone, which is a great effect to basically just fusion summon and then instantly place this card in your pendulum zone. We then play 3 copies of Amazoness Silver Swordmaster. Silver Swordmaster is very similar to your copy of Golden Whipmaster, with this card having a similar effect that if you basically fusion summon this card away, you're going to put it into your pendulum zone, which is great. And also this card has a great effect that when an attack is declared involving your Amazoness monster, you can actually target an Amazoness spell or trap in the graveyard and add it to your hand, which is a crazy powerful effect to instantly recover one of your Amazoness spells or traps. But this card also shares the ability, just like your copy of Golden Whipmaster, that your Amazoness monsters you control gain attack equal to their own level times 100, which actually stacks between both these cards, which is insane that all of your Amazoness monsters are going to get massive when you have both of these in your pendulum zones. We then play a single copy of Amazoness Queen. Amazoness Queen is a really good 1-of in the deck that has a super simple effect that Amazoness monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle, but this card is a really cool combo piece in the deck to help us go in for fusion plays. We play a single copy of Baby Tiger. Baby Tiger is really cool as a 1-of in the deck, because this card has the ability this card's name becomes Amazoness Tiger while it's on the field or in the graveyard. And if an Amazoness monster is normal or special summoned to your field while this card's in your hand or the graveyard, you can special summon this card, but you can only use that effect once per turn. It also gains 100 attack for each Amazoness card in the graveyard, making this card a really cool 1-of in the build. We then play 3 copies of Mulcharmy Fluros. Fluros is really good as a hand trap in this build to basically just help us dig into the deck, especially since this is a going second build, just to dig into the deck for board breakers or more fusion materials to help us break our opponent's board and then go in for game. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Rhoda. Rhoda is really good as a 1-0 in the build to search out the exact Amazoness that we need. We play a single copy of Harpy's Feather Duster. Harpy's Feather Duster is great, especially since we're wanting to go second in this deck. This card helps us just deal with our opponent's back row. We play a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is great just to stop our opponent's hand traps when we're going in for all of our plays. And lay a single copy of Amazoness Village. Amazoness Village is great as a 1-up in the build because all face-up Amazoness monsters on the field gain 200 attack points. Also, once per turn, when an Amazoness monster is destroyed by battle by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can actually special summon an Amazoness monster from your deck with a level less than or equal to that destroyed Amazoness, which is a pretty cool effect just to help you get a different Amazoness out on your side of the field just in case you need to. We then play 2 copies of Lightning Storm. Lightning Storm is a great board breaker in this build just to deal with your opponent's back row or their monsters. We then play 2 copies of Battle Guard Echoes. Battle Guard Echoes is great to be able to play in this deck because when this card is activated, you can actually add a level 5 Earth Warrior monster from your deck to your hand, then discard a card, which is a great effect to instantly get to a copy of War Chief off this card's effect. This card is super helpful in this build and it's basically 2 more copies of Rhoda for this deck. We then play 2 copies of Amazoness Secret Arts. Amazoness Secret Arts is basically like a polymerization for this deck, but it's actually a quick play with the ability that you get to fusion summon an Amazoness fusion monster from your X deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. But this card is a bonus effect that during your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, and then if you fusion summon an Amazoness fusion monster this turn, you can also send an Amazoness monster from your X deck to the graveyard as material, which is a great effect to actually help us bring out our copy of Amazoness Augustus. We then play 3 copies of Polymerization. Polymerization is how we bring out our fusion monster, so this card is definitely a 3-of in the build, and you constantly want to be searching this card from your deck to your hand to help you go in for your fusion plays. We then play 3 copies of Amazoness Call. Amazoness Call is basically a Rhoda for this deck, letting you take an Amazoness card from your deck, accept another copy of Call, and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. Also, during your main phase, you can banish this card from the graveyard to target an Amazoness monster you control, and this turn, that monster can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Also, other monsters you control cannot attack, which is an amazing ability to be able to use to help us just go in for game. We then play 3 copies of Super Polymerization. Super Poly is great in this build just to help us break our opponent's board, and it's a great card because it actually helps us bring out a fusion monster to our side of the field, which can help us go in for game. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing 1, and that's going to be a single copy of Amazoness Onslaught. This card is great as a 1-of in the build with the ability that once per turn, during the battle phase, you can special summon an Amazoness monster from your hand, and if you do, it gains 500 attack until the end of this turn, even if this card leaves the field. And after damage calculation, if your Amazoness monster battled an opponent's monster, while this card is already face up on your spell and trap card zone, you can banish that opponent's monster, and if this card on the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can turn an Amazoness monster in the graveyard and special summon it, which is a great effect to be able to use just to help you bring an Amazoness to your side of the field. This card overall is great in the deck as a 1-of, and I really like playing this card in this deck. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with 2 copies of Amazoness Augustus. Augustus is definitely a 2-of in the build and our big boss monster of this deck. This card requires an Amazoness fusion monster plus an Amazoness monster to make this card. And this card also has the ability your opponent cannot target other Amazoness cards you control with card effects. Also, those cards cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects either. And if this card was fusion summoned using an Amazoness Empress, Goddess or an Amazoness Queen as a material, it can make a second attack during each battle phase. And if this card is fusion summoned, you can special summon an Amazoness monster from your deck, which is a great effect to help you instantly bring out your copy of Amazoness Queen to your side of the field to help you go in for game. We then play 2 copies of Pet Liger King. Pet Liger King is great as a 2-of in the build and just an awesome boss monster that's super easy to summon, as this card just requires a level 5 or higher Amazoness monster plus any other Amazoness monster to make this card. This card is going to be one of the most common cards you're actually going to summon in this extract, and this card has the ability that your opponent's monsters cannot attack any monsters except for this one. And you can target an Amazoness card you control and an Amazoness warrior monster in your graveyard and destroy that monster on the field, and if you do, special summon that other monster from the graveyard. And then this card cannot attack the turn you activated that effect. We then play 2 copies of Empress. Empress is a really good 2-of in the build. We play 1 to summon and 1 to fuse away for a copy of Augustus. But this card is really good in the deck as a 2-of. It just helps out a lot with our plays to help us OTK. We play a single copy of Pet Liger. Pet Liger is a really cool 1-of in the deck that you summon out every so often because it does require Amazoness Tiger, which you can use a Baby Pet Tiger to be able to make this card, plus an Amazoness monster, but this card is just like your copy of Empress. It's just a really good 1-of in the deck. And lay a single copy of Guardian Chimera. Guardian Chimera is insane in this build because we can either use this card to draw 2 cards and pop a card, or pop 2 cards and draw a card, depending on the situation that we need. We then lay a single copy of Garua and a single copy of Muddragon. These cards are just really good in the build for super poly targets, just to help us break our opponent's board. And lay a single copy of Typhon. Typhon's amazing in this build to basically help us bounce cards off the field and to skill drain for 3,000 higher attack point monsters. And lay a single copy of Underworld Goddess. Underworld Goddess has great deal of towers like boss monsters our opponent might have on the field. And lay a single copy of the Earth Charmer. Earth Charmer is great because the majority of our Amazoness cards are actually Earth, so this card is great in this deck. And lay a single copy of SP. Little Knight. SP is great in this deck. Basically just use this card as a double interruption, and it's an awesome card in this deck. And then finally, lay a single copy of IP Masquerena. IP is great to help us go for a copy of SP or Underworld Goddess during our opponent's turn, just in case we need to. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played an Amazoness deck before, you should definitely give this deck a try because your Amazoness monsters get absolutely massive and easily OTK your opponent with this deck, which is so fun to be able to do. I absolutely love playing this deck, and it's just a really fun deck overall. So that's good for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell in there so you can come part of notification squad. We'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.